Hey there, my fellow anglers and fishing fanatics. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the fishing forecast for a truly special day, November 2nd, 2025. Friends, get ready, because this day holds some real surprises for us out on the Canadian waters, blending the chill of approaching winter with unexpected pockets of opportunity. So if you've been wondering if it's worth bundling up and heading out, stay tuned, because I'm about to give you the lowdown on why this Sunday might just be the perfect time to chase some trophies. Let's talk tactics, starting with some of Canada's most beloved species. First up, the mighty walleye. For November 2nd, with water temperatures steadily dropping, walleye will be schooling up, often near deeper drop-offs, submerged structures and channel edges. They are still actively feeding, but their metabolism is slowing, so they're looking for an easy meal. My experience tells me that early morning and especially dusk will be prime times for these light-sensitive predators. Where to search? Focus on depths of 6 to 12 meters, targeting transition areas where soft bottoms meet harder structures or rocky points. River mouths and current breaks can also be hot spots. Remember, as the water cools, walleye don't want to expend too much energy, so they'll hold close to ambush points. What to use? Jigs are your best friend here. Try a 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce jig tipped with a 3 to 5 inch soft plastic paddle tail, or even a live minnow if regulations allow. Colors like chartreuse orange or white tend to stand out in the murkier, colder water. Vertical jigging is incredibly effective. For those working from shore, long casting with a lipless crankbait or a slow-retrieved shallow-diving jerkbait can also produce results, especially if you can reach those deeper edges. Next, let's talk about the aggressive northern pike. Fall is still an excellent season for chasing these toothy critters, but their location shifts as the weeds die back. Where to search? Forget the browning weed beds, friends. Pike will be seeking out the last remaining patches of fresh green vegetation that still hold oxygen and baitfish. Look for these green havens in protected bays or along main lake points. Deeper weed lines from 3 to 7 meters are also key areas. They'll be ambushing baitfish that are trying to escape the colder open water. What to use? Large spinners, swim baits, and big spoons in metallic or bright patterns, think silver, gold, chartreuse, or fire tiger, are excellent choices. Don't be afraid to go big. Pike are looking for a substantial meal to bulk up for winter. A wire leader is non-negotiable to prevent bite-offs. Casting and retrieving steadily with occasional pauses can trigger those aggressive strikes. Finally, let's consider the majestic Lake Trout. November is a fantastic time for lake trout in many Canadian waters, as they often move shallower before spawning. Where to search? Look for them cruising near rocky points, shoals, and underwater humps where water temperatures are cool, around 10 degrees Celsius or below. They'll be active in depths ranging from 3 to 15 meters, depending on the specific lake and structure. Often they'll be chasing baitfish that are also holding to these structures. What to use? Trolling with large spoons, crankbaits, or even big tube jigs can be highly effective. For casting, heavy spoons or lipless crankbaits worked slowly along the structure can entice a bite. Natural baitfish colors like silver, blue, and white are often winners, but don't shy away from some flash. Now let's break down the conditions for November 2nd, 2025 and understand why these tactics will work. Weather. The forecast for parts of Canada, like Kitchener, Ontario, shows a surprisingly pleasant day for early November. We're looking at a high of 10 degrees Celsius and a low of 3 degrees Celsius, with sunny skies. This relative warmth, combined with sunshine, could create a short window of increased activity. However, the broader November trend for Canada is colder, with average maximums around 5 degrees Celsius, and often with rain or even snow. The stable, sunny conditions predicted for Sunday should mean a fairly stable atmospheric pressure, which generally favors fishing rather than drastic swings that shut fish down. We can expect light winds, making for comfortable casting and boat control. Water temperature. Across Canada, water temperatures in November are decidedly cold. For instance, the average water temperature in Toronto is around 8.2 degrees Celsius, varying between 4.6 and 13.5 degrees Celsius. While some sea waters might be warmer, generally, comfort swimming is out of the question. This steady cooling trend means fish metabolism is slower, pushing them to conserve energy and hold to deeper structures or thermal refuges. However, cooler water also means increased oxygen levels, which can stimulate fish activity when other conditions are favorable. Moon phase. On November 2nd, 2025, the moon will be in a waxing gibbous phase, with its illumination between 87 and 92.54% and still growing. We're just about 3 days away from the full moon. In fishing folklore, a waxing gibbous moon is often associated with moderate to good feeding activity, especially for nocturnal or crepuscular feeders like walleye. The increased lunar illumination can extend feeding windows into the twilight hours, so pay attention to those early morning and late afternoon bites. Overall fish activity. Considering all these factors, friends, my assessment for November 2nd, 2025 is a good yet strategic bite. The sunny weather and relatively stable pressure, especially after potentially colder, windier days earlier in the week, could trigger a decent feeding window. Fish have been gorging earlier in the fall to prepare for winter, but they are still opportunistically feeding. You'll need to be precise with your presentations and target specific locations where fish are holding to conserve energy. Don't expect explosive summer bites, but rather steady, deliberate takes. The cooler water means they won't chase far, so put your bait right in front of them. So there you have it, friends. A comprehensive look at what to expect on November 2nd. Get out there, embrace the cooler weather, and enjoy the peace of Canadian fall fishing. In wishing you all tight lines, may your reels be screaming and your nets be full. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more tips, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for this weekend? What's your go-to cold water lure? I love hearing your stories and insights. Until next time, happy fishing.